Happy birthday, Sagittarius, my fellow Sagittarians. And everyone, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, November 28th through Sunday, December 4th. Okay, before I begin, I would like to thank all of you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel, and any donations that you make. I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. There's also links below in the description box. One is to my website if you would like more information on charts, services that I offer. There's also a link to my email address, which is easier to just email me and ask me whatever it is you would like to know. But there's also a link to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. Okay, so for this week, on Monday, November 28th, Mars in Gemini trines Saturn in Aquarius. On Tuesday, November 29th, Mercury in Sagittarius opposes Mars in Gemini. On Wednesday, November 30th, Mercury in Sagittarius sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. And on Thursday, December 1st, Venus in Sagittarius opposes Mars in Gemini. On Friday, December 2nd, Mercury in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces, and on the same day, Venus in Sagittarius sextiles Saturn in Aquarius, and on Sunday, December 4th, Venus in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces. So we have a lot of aspects this week, major aspects. So anyways, off to your forecast. Hey, okay, so for Gemini, on Monday, November 28th, Mars in your first house in Gemini trines Saturn in Aquarius in your ninth house. Okay, very nice. Trine from, actually, ninth house is many things. It is the house of knowledge, though, higher learning, foreign travel, foreign people from a different background than yours, a different culture. It's communication and travel, long distance usually. It's also legal matters. So if you have anything going on right now in any of those areas, you're actually pursuing something like that right now. Let's put it this way. Okay. Something that you've been learning, something that you've been working on. It could be possibly learning it to, further your career in some way or other. But, having Mars in your first house makes you very active and, very energetic and going after whatever it is that you want right now. Okay, so there's something that could even be like at a distance, or even in another country. Maybe it's travel. Maybe you really wanted to do or go somewhere or meet with someone, whatever. Okay, but you're having some kind of success, let's put it that way, in any of the areas that I just mentioned for the ninth house. Okay, on Tuesday, November 29th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your seventh house opposes Mars in your first house of Gemini, and on Thursday, December 1st, Venus in Sagittarius in your seventh house also opposes Mars in your first house. Okay, so, your seventh house is your close relationships. Sagittarius is your opposite sign. Sometimes this time of year is like the low point of the year for you. And, having Mars in your first house, though, right now, you're like really gung-ho about everything. So maybe there's something going on here with seventh house is close relationships and partnerships. So this could be with a business partner on some kind of project even, if you're involved in anything creative, but it could be an actual business, or it could be with a romantic partner or a close friend. Okay, so the opposition from Mercury to Mars is like It's a time when you and someone else will really be laying it all out there. You know, won't be guessing as to how the other person feels. Okay, that it's that kind of transit. You know, it makes you want to say exactly how you feel about someone, and vice versa. Someone may tell you a thing or two too. Okay. So it might not be real pleasant, but by the time this Venus opposed Mars on the first comes around, it's a little bit softer, you know. You may still have a disagreement with someone, or may not be getting along in some kind of close relationship, but it's getting smoothed over by this Venus, okay. Remember, having Venus in your 7th house does make things go a little bit more smoothly with your partners. Okay, so that opposition from Mercury there could just kind of catch you off guard. Okay, just keep that in mind. You don't want to say something that you can't take back, right? Good idea to keep that in mind. So on Wednesday, November 30th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 7th house, sextile Saturn in your 9th house in Aquarius, and on Friday, December 2nd, Venus in Sagittarius in your 7th house, also sextiles this Saturn in Aquarius in your 9th house. So maybe this even had something to do with this 9th house thing, okay? 9th house, too, is also publishing and media. It's your outlook on life. It's your philosophy on life. It's your opinions. It's your spiritual, religious beliefs, everything. So there, something like that could be going on right now where you don't have a lot in common with somebody. You do, and then you don't. You know, maybe the important things you don't have in common with someone. Maybe that's what you're realizing right now. You know, the things that really, really matter about a relationship, you know, you just have surface things, you know, in common with somebody, and you really can't like base a really nice solid relationship on that. That could be, you know, something that's going through your mind right now. So you just get like I don't know, testing the waters, just trying to figure out how, you know, what's up with my relationships. You know, this helps with the stability, though. You know what I mean? You're like seeing what you do actually have in common with somebody. Okay, so you know, there's other things to think about, but the most important things, maybe you will come to the conclusion that you do actually have that in common with these people. One of these partnerships or close relationships in your life. Okay. So also on Friday, December 2nd, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 7th house squares Neptune in your 10th house of Pisces. And on Sunday, December 4th, Venus in Sagittarius in your 7th house also squares Neptune and Pisces in your 10th house of your career. Okay, your public and social standing. It's your most public house in your chart. It's how people view and speak about you publicly, about your career, your professional life, and your personal life. Okay, so Jupiter's back here right now. You know, these are just squares, so it's not like something that can't be worked out, but you know, you could be trying to form some kind of agreement or arrangement with someone. That's what 7th house is, okay, also. In regards to your career, you know what I mean? Your whatever it is that you do for a livelihood, or do to bring in money, even if you're retired or you don't work at all, there's still something that some kind of relationship that you have with someone that does affect even your social status in some way or other. Okay, so that's something, you know, that you can work out. It's a square. You can work around it. It's just that it's going to require some work. That's all. It's not going to go like as smoothly as you thought it would be. Like if you thought it was going to be a piece of cake. That's probably not how that's going to go. Okay, so for Pisces. Okay, on Monday, November 28th, Mars in Gemini in your 4th house trines Saturn in Aquarius in your 12th house. So you have Mars in your 4th house of your personal life and your home life, where you actually live and the property surrounding it, your family, your childhood, your past, your very foundation, like how you were raised. Very nice trine to Saturn in your 12th house of secrets and the subconscious mind and many, many things. But I'd have to say that something is going on within your personal life that's making you feel a little bit more calm or a little bit more stable. You may have even done something like, put in security precautions within your home, or there's a family member in your life that is possibly living with you that is making you feel a little bit more stable, or whatever. It could even just be your home itself, that you've done something to it. Having Mars in your 4th house makes you want to do big things like big remodeling kind of jobs, or making sweeping changes in your living arrangement or something, making room for something. Okay. On Tuesday, November 29th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 10th house opposes Mars in Gemini in your 4th house. And on Thursday, December 1st, Venus in Sagittarius in your 10th house also opposes Mars in your 4th house of Gemini. So the Mercury opposed Mars is the transit that, is the kind of the one that I don't want to say to worry about, but it is the one that brings about conflict of some kind. Okay, your 10th house is your most public house. It is your house of your career and your personal and professional status, like how people know you by reputation in both your professional and personal life. So having Venus here, though, means you're very appealing right now to the general public. Everybody, when they look at you or speak about you, even just among themselves, they always say like how pretty you are or handsome you are or whatever. It could even be about your personality, but usually it's about your appearance, okay? So the Mercury opposed Mars is possibly someone. 10th house is also, like I said, your most public house. But public is also social media, okay? Unless you're like someone who is a celebrity or whatever, and you are written about or talked about or something or other, the only way that I can think of anybody bringing up your name is on like social media. So somebody could say something about you on social media about your family or the way you live or where you live, or something about your home or even your childhood, how you were raised, whatever. They could just make some kind of off remark about you, maybe it's done purposely, or maybe it was just stupid, so, people say stupid things, especially on social media, right? So it could be something like that, but it rubs you the wrong way. But this also, 10th house being your house of your career, it could be a boss even, or a higher up, or someone who has a position over yours that is trying to tell you that you have to, I don't know, give up, something in your personal life or your family in order to do your job, It could just be for like that day, or it could be some kind of something they're talking about in the future, which is like really weird. But somebody could just try to like yank you away from your home life, or act like they have the power to do that very thing over you, okay, and get you to work instead of take care of your personal life or your home or whatever, when possibly you were supposed to be off or something like that, okay? But then this Venus opposed Mars comes along like on the 1st, just 2 days later, and kind of smooths things over a little bit. but not too much. You know, it could even be like a family member that you have a bit of an argument with, and it could be about work, uh, or it could be about I don't know, you doing something like in public, or being part of some kind of group of people that maybe they don't care for. On Wednesday, November 30th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 10th house, sextile Saturn in Aquarius in your 12th house. And on Friday, December 2nd, Venus in Sagittarius in your 10th house, also sextiles Saturn in your 12th house. So there is actually something going on within your career or within your social status or something that is securing your position. You know, it's either your position in a job or career or your social status. Okay, there's you know, something about your reputation even that is really making you feel like more secure. You could even be like acknowledged, let's say, okay, by someone who is like semi-famous or something or other, or it could be a higher up that really singles you out, you know, among your co-workers or something, and it makes you feel like you have a solid career in front of you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, on Friday, December 2nd also, okay, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 10th house squares Neptune in your first house of Pisces, and on December 4th, Venus in Sagittarius in your 10th house also squares Neptune in your first house of Pisces. So, not bad at all. You know, you have Jupiter in your first house again, so things are, you know, maybe not like hugely going your way, but having Jupiter in your first house, even if it's just briefly, does bring about like a good time, you know. So I would have to say that, you know, you could be possibly maybe overdoing it a little bit as far as, you know, hanging out or with, let's say, like the boss or something, or a higher up, or, you know, possibly just befriending someone or other that I believe, like I said, is a celebrity type person, or has some kind of prestige about them that's like rubbing off on you. Okay, it's really enhancing your personality, or making you even more interesting to other people than you already are. Okay. So for Scorpio, on Monday, November 28th, Mars in Gemini in your 8th house, trine Saturn transiting in your 4th house of Aquarius. So having Mars in your 8th house of other people's money and resources, you know, just means that you are actually going after any kind of money that, or anything that belongs to you. Okay, this is the house of passive money. Money coming to you through refunds or bank loans, extra credit, legal settlements, insurance payouts, legacies, inheritances, all kinds of fun stuff here. Now, a trine to your 4th house of your home life, your family, your personal life. There could have been, 8th house is the house of inheritance and legacy. Okay, so there could have been something that was supposed to be yours a long time ago already, you know, that is from your childhood. It's from your family. It's been passed down for generations or something or other. And you never got it. Maybe you weren't even aware of it, but since Mars has been here, and it has been here, excuse me, a long time already, and will be here up until March, so this is still like ongoing, that you're finding found money, or money or something that belongs to you. Okay, it could be that, you know, I'd have to say it's an inheritance of some kind, but I believe it's from family. Okay, so it's a good idea to check out if you have, there's a lot of places where you can go to check out unclaimed money to see if your name's on anything. Okay. On Tuesday, November 29th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your second house opposes Mars in Gemini in your eighth house. And on Thursday, December 1st, Venus in Sagittarius in your second house also opposes Mars in Gemini in your eighth house. Okay. Now, this opposition, you know, usually brings about, okay, the Mercury opposed Mars does bring about a conversation that's very, you know, kind of confrontational, you know, and this is in regarding money. But usually Mercury does make you want to tell somebody off. It makes you want to tell them exactly what you think about them, because Mars is the ego planet, so it's like a personal planet in a way, you know, like you're taking this personally, okay? So somebody could even have something of yours that they borrowed, and you've been trying to get it back for how long, you know, or they could have even borrowed money, or you're in some kind of dispute with a bill or a creditor or taxes or something or other. You know what I mean? There's something possibly going on here. I will tell you, though, I would play the lottery on this the Tuesday through Thursday at least, if you could, you know, just in case oppositions like this bring about usually like some kind of win. You know, you need a hard aspect like an opposition sometimes to bring about winning, okay? And this is happening between these two houses, okay? So with the Venus opposed Mars, though, you know, kind of smooth things over in a way. Venus in your second house is attracting money to you. So I would have to say that whatever occurs, like on that Tuesday possibly, kind of blows over by the time Thursday rolls around, and you get whatever it is you were after. You know, you get the end result that you wanted. Okay, on Wednesday, November 30th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your second house sextiles Saturn in Aquarius in your fourth house. And on Friday, December 2nd, Venus in Sagittarius in your second house also sextiles Saturn in your fourth house, okay? So we've got, you know, houses, planets are in your second house of Sagittarius, and it's a money house. This is your earned income. And your fourth house is your home life, your physical property, like where you live and stuff, you know. So I would have to say that you're purchasing something for your home, but it's a necessity. Having Saturn here, you know, it could be something that's been broken for a while, you know, it needs fixed. It could be an appliance. It could be anything, but I believe it's a good purchase, okay? Also, on Friday, December 2nd, Mercury in Sagittarius in your second house squares Neptune in your fifth house of Pisces. And on Sunday, December 4th, Venus in Sagittarius in your second house also squares Neptune in Pisces in your fifth house. So this is, you know, we're back to money again. And your fifth house is the house of fun and romance and gambling and sports and games and creativity, romance, children, all kinds of stuff. But it's the house of fun, and Jupiter is back here, and you could be making up for lost time, you know, wanting to have some fun for a little while, you know. I believe that that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to spoil a child or a family member, or even just yourself. But you just, I believe you won't go overboard. You know what I mean? You're going to be careful how much you spend, but you're not going to deny yourself or anyone else as far as that goes. Okay, so for Aries, on Monday, November 28th, Mars in Gemini in your third house, trine Saturn, transiting in your, where is it, 11th house, okay, of Aquarius. So, your third house is your big communication and travel house. It's your everyday life, it's your neighbors, your neighborhood, the places you would go and the people you would see throughout the normal course of your day. Okay, but having Mars here does make you do almost like a lot of running around as if Mercury were also here. But it makes you want to do things, possibly even travel. It is a big written word, though. You could actually write something at this time that's pretty important. You can be in communication back and forth with someone. This very nice trine, though, to Saturn in your 11th house of your friends. It's your most sociable house. It's where you would normally go to hang out, but it's like your acquaintances and stuff, too. It's wanting to socialize in person, possibly, or just on social media. It's any kind of organization that you belong to, and it's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. Now, having Saturn here does mean a lot of times that you're bored with your friends or bored with all these, going to the same place all the time, you know, seeing the same live entertainment or whatever, or in an organization that you belong to, they're boring too. Whatever you joined them for doesn't exist anymore. There could also be a person in your group of friends that just really tries to stand in your way in some way or other. They are afraid you're going to get ahead or be successful in something that they're also interested in. Whatever, okay, so this trine from Mars kind of, in a way, puts any of these things that I just mentioned like in their place. You know, if there's a person in your group of friends or in an organization or something that is in the way in any way at all, Mars is not going to put up with that. You know what I mean? They're put in their place in some way or other. In fact, on Tuesday, November 29th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 9th house opposes Mars in Gemini in your 3rd house, and on Thursday, December 1st, Venus in Sagittarius in your 9th house also opposes Mars in your 3rd house, okay? Now, 3rd house is blah. It's a big communication house, okay? Gemini is the natural ruler of the 3rd house, and their ruler is Mercury. We're talking communication, but it's coming from Mars, and Mars is like, not only your ruling planet, it's like really going to tell somebody something or other, right? Okay, because this is an opposition from Mercury in your 9th house, okay, to Mars in your 3rd house of, like I said, your everyday life and whatever. Okay, now this could happen, I believe, with 9th house being like your philosophy on life, your religious and spiritual beliefs, your opinions, even your political views, all that stuff, okay? Your knowledge based on your own life experience and also your education, okay? So you could feel you know a hell of a lot more, let's say, than some jerk that lives next door to you or some business that operates in your area or something. There could be some kind of real verbal thing going on here with somebody that is based on like opinion, you know, who knows more, who knows what's best to be done, you know, as far as something like that. There's also, this could be, you know, both of these 3rd and 9th houses are communication and travel. Long distance communication is 9th house. Local is 3rd house. This is regular postal mail, though, too, but this is any form of communication, even verbal, or phone call, or a text message, or regular postal mail, even. So you could get even a nasty letter in the mail, you know, and it could be regarding anything. But 9th house is also legal matters. media and publishing. It is foreign anything, foreign people, countries, language. You know, it could be in regards to anything. But I would have to say, though, this is a difference of opinion that, you know, you just don't have anything in common with this person. You know, you're from two totally different backgrounds. You don't see eye to eye on anything, so why even bother? Like arguing, but it more than likely will happen anyway. But just a few days later, Venus opposes Mars, okay, in your third house. And that kind of smooths it over a little bit between you possibly and someone else, you know. The difference will still be there, but you'll maybe have calmed down and, you know, realize that I guess you have to see this person again, you know, anyway. So it's a good idea to just leave it as it is and maybe, you know, not argue again. Whatever. On Wednesday, November 30th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 9th house, sextiles Saturn in your 11th house of Aquarius. And on Friday, December 2nd, Venus in Sagittarius in your 9th house, also sextiles Saturn in Aquarius in your 11th house. So maybe this is with a friend, okay? Someone you know socially. It could even be just like an acquaintance. Or again, like I said, someone, if you belong to an organization, you know, it's finally coming out. You're finally telling them a thing or two. Could be any kind of, even on social media, if you belong to some kind of group, you know that there's possibly something going on there that you don't want to be a part of anymore. You don't like, you can't relate to it. Okay. Let's see here. Also on Friday, December 2nd, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 9th house squares Neptune transiting in your 12th house of Pisces. And on Sunday, December 4th, Venus in Sagittarius in your 9th house also squares Neptune.